This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Yamamu nyina kwa banfabra Boadu TV so. First time na subscribe yen like and share. Asema wo ne se Paul Adom Otchere ya che no. Ai, Office of the Special Prosecutor invite no. Okodu ho a yese ye detain no. Na agi se omiti bail condition ansa na ya no. Eti nei yawade ya dia Paul Adom Otchere edem gidi ya. Fiade na bia so mbehwe no magya no manya nde na se be jema wotum de ni bi. Agi se next week eno mbegya no. Na ni nyina ne se no ye board chairman de Magana Airport Company Limited. Ena ye se contract bi ehun abasem ma me kura ye so osan kura no. Chese oda so wo NDC abema woda so te Ghana na so no ye nche ne ye Paul Adom Otchere na che no. Na se ya wade no se wo yishu na wentimi amba o mutire man de jamu toye and the choir mfaso chi Paul Adom Otchere.
But what it says is that you cannot mute the man. You cannot stop him from talking. He's trained a lot of people. I am one of them. And so when you don't see him, you will still see some of us still doing the work of the Lord. We call him Apostle Paul. And he has a lot of people that he has trained who are also becoming apostles. So tonight, the show is on. We'll be telling you all there is about, is it arrest? Is it him being detained? What charges have been preferred against him? And why is he being kept? The question for a lot of us, especially those of us who are not lawyers, and we keep asking, why don't you go to court? Special prosecutor. If you have a problem, why don't you go to court and invite the man to court to come and defend himself? Why do you use the power you have, invite him for questioning, he comes in with his lawyers, and you go ahead to detain in the name of arresting him? Some of us will be able to call you out, and we will actually call you out. So wherever you are watching us from, let me remind you that we are coming your way live from our studios here at Rage in Accra. We are live on Good Evening Ghana. We are live on DSTV page 277. So you can catch us live. And of course, we are live on YouTube as well. But don't worry, all the followers and all the fans of Apostle Paul, we are monitoring keenly what is happening and what exactly is happening with him. And we are reporting 24 hours. We'll be wherever he will be taken to and make sure that we update you with everything. You know Apraku. Apraku is always here with him. In fact, he is a lawyer. He had been with him when the Apostle Paul had gone to the Special Prosecutor's Office. Apraku is here, and so I'm going to hand over to him to tell us exactly what happened, because in the morning, you were with him in the studio when you did the recording. You have had the opportunity to go through the invitation letters, the reply you give to the special prosecutor, and then what the bravado, the fact that he says he cannot wait for you to come back on Monday, but wants you to come today.
I think Jesus is coming tomorrow.
In fact, people are actually speculating that he wants to show Paul power, keep him in there tonight, throughout the weekend, and on Monday, then you tell him, so all the things you sit on TV and say, I've shown you that I'm the special prosecutor.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, because we wrote indicating that our attendance may be difficult. The attendance of the lawyers may be difficult. Therefore, if the dates could be, if we could come on Monday, in any case, others have been called and questioned at other periods in time. What is so wrong about Monday that
you cannot allow him to come on?
It
is mind-boggling.
Why Thursday evening? Because they know. And now, today is the 31st of July.
Yes.
Every lawyer will tell you that 31st of July is the end of the legal year.
Yes, in fact, I saw on Facebook today a lot of lawyers
so the judges are going on vacation. So let us bring him, detain him on the 31st of July, which is a Thursday. If he is not able to, and we are going to go to the discussion of the bail conditions.
Yes.
And we'll analyze and see why and how unreasonable it is.
But why the abuse of power? I don't understand. Why the I will show you where power lies attitude with
they claim, I mean, yes, if someone has committed an offense, we are all for prosecution. Make sure the right thing is done. put people who have committed crimes behind bars. But in doing so,
follow the due process.
And
you are a lawyer. You are a lawyer of good standing.
You see, you have to be reasonable in the way you do things. You ask somebody to come and, satisfy bail conditions. He should bring evidence of 2 landed properties in Ghana. So now the idea or the rationale is that if you are a poor person,
you will not be able to satisfy the bail condition.
So
what it is that, let me actually allow you. You have been with him all day from the morning. So let me allow you, of course, with the viewers, to take us through what actually happened and what the options are for the team, the entire team. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our spectators. So as you are aware, we were invited, or the host, Paul Adom Otchere, was invited to the offices of the Special Prosecutor around Ridge, number 6 Haile Selassie Avenue, to come for questioning in relation to what was termed as corruption or corruption-related offenses. No problem. Nothing is wrong with that. In fact, it is good because these are the things that help build a democracy. That when things go wrong in society, or when there are allegations that things have gone wrong in society, law enforcement agencies make sure that the right thing is done and the right person is nabbed. Granted, that aside. So the lawyers for Paul Adom Otchere write to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and tell him that Thursday, which is today, would be unavailable. It would be relatively difficult for them to attend court, to attend the meeting or investigation, the inquisition, whatever, however you may refer to it, on a Thursday. And so, if possible, it should be shifted to Monday at 3 p.m. and then they would attend. It would interest you to note that less than an hour after the letter was dispatched to the offices of the OSP, the office lawyer, whoever, director of asset recovery management, wrote back and said that no, he must attend on Thursday, which is quite interesting because at any point in time, people are able to attend investigations. They tell the police, and we do it all the time. Police invite someone for investigations. Come and answer these questions. The person says that, oh, I have a funeral at Kwewu. Give me time and I'll come. And these are long-standing institutions. The police service has existed before independence. Yet, these are the practices and procedures they follow. You say, no, he must come today. No problem. Granted. He comes today. You place him under arrest for corruption and corruption-related activities, conflict of interest, and breach of the public procurement laws. No problem. You conduct an interrogation into the activities, which quite frankly, even got at a point in time, got confrontational. But that's also aside. Now, at the end of everything, you then give him a form and say, you tell him that, oh, on this form, fill it. He fills, his name, the name of his mother, the name of his father, the name of his children, the name of his spouse, all the details around him, or about him. But in one section of the documents, it is written there that he should declare landed properties he has. Properties in Ghana he has. He should write it there. The man says, well, I don't have any properties in Ghana. And so he says, NA, non-applicable. No problem. So there's a hearty conversation, cordial. We are discussing. In fact, some of the officers start telling that, oh, if that's the case, you may have to start coming once every week, discussing what is going to happen subsequently. And Paul was open to it because he's here. Everybody knows where he stays. In fact, he has been open about his residence, that he stays somewhere at Teshi. Everybody knows this edifice. This is not somebody who is going to run away. No problem. That is granted. So they take this paper, this form, this sheet, go inside, and then come back, and in coming back, tell us or say that these are the bail conditions. 2 landed properties. When we say landed properties, land or house, 2 of them in the name of the accused. When this person had just told you that he doesn't have any property in his name. So now you say that he must provide landed property in order to meet bail conditions. And then there's also another bail condition of 2 persons, 1 public officer, not less than the rank of a principal officer. No problem, he's ready to satisfy the bail conditions. So we make the discussion that, he then tells the officer that, he just told you, I do not own any landed property in Ghana. So if I do not own any landed property anywhere, I don't have land anywhere in my name, I don't own anything like that. So how far now? Let's talk about it and see if the bail conditions can be reviewed. You then go, the officers then go, it comes back and says that, no, the bail conditions must be satisfied. So I ask the question that's here, and let us all answer it. Assuming your brother is arrested and goes before the police station, the police service, and the police tell him that he must bring his land documents, he must have land, he must bring his land documents, and he says he doesn't have any. Is it justified for him to be behind bars? Is that the basis? You see, the rationale behind bail conditions in Ghana, and why every time, for those of you who have had problem with the law before, is that why every time we will say that go and bring another person's documents is that you may not be rich, but you may know someone in your church who has land. So assuming I'm arrested, I may know someone in my church. I attend Divine Mercy Catholic Church at East Legon, Oponglo. I may have someone there who I'll say that, oh, this is the problem that has happened. So, Father, I beg, look around and see anybody who has landed property. Even murder cases that we've done, even murder cases, the high courts of Ghana grants bail and says that you bring two sureties, one to be justified, meaning one person must have landed property. It means that if someone is poor and does not have property or is not rich, the person is given the opportunity to bring somebody with metal or with wealth or opportunity or who has the means to stand as surety for the person who is accused. But if you tell somebody who is accused, who you have the power to throw behind bars, that he should bring land documents, he's told you that I have no land documents. I have no land. I have not purchased because the land even which he lives is in his mother's name. You say that that's the basis for which somebody has failed to meet bail conditions and so he should be thrown behind bars. Another accused person, also the same thing. He doesn't have landed property in his name, so he should be put behind bars. I mean, it's quite frankly bizarre. All jokes aside, it is quite frankly bizarre. And we cannot continue like this. And it may not be about liking or hating a person or what a person stands for. I don't like everybody. Not everybody will like me. But it doesn't mean that if something wrong is happening, we should keep quiet and jubilate or rejoice over it. Yes, if the person has committed wrong, no problem at all. Go through the appropriate legal remedies. Let these things, follow due process. And let the law, practice. Let us see due fidelity to legal principles. Now, if they can put up the constitutional provision for me, so we do some discussion on it. The 1992 Constitution, more specifically Article 14.3, it says that a person who is arrested, restricted, or detained, A, for the purpose of bringing him before a court in execution of an order of a court, or upon reasonable, and this is the important part, upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana, and who is not released, shall be brought before a court within 48 hours after the arrest, restriction, or detention. Now, viewers, you see here, the text says that 48 hours. 48 hours means 2 days. What it means is, if you are arresting someone on a Thursday evening, 42 hours from the Thursday evening will be weekend. The court won't sit on a weekend. So you then tell the person who has already told you that he hasn't have any landed property that he should go and bring landed property, or else he will not be able to satisfy the bail conditions, and he cannot go scot-free.
But let me cut you in. This is very unreasonable. And,
yes, it is unreasonable.
And for emphasis, you say that Paul had written in the form submitted
that
to him that he doesn't have a landed property
in his name. Even if he didn't write that he doesn't have landed property in his name, I've already explained. The rationale behind bail is securing someone to stand in surety for you. So the person would come and say that, okay, this is somebody I know.
In the thinking of the special prosecutor,
yeah,
if if I don't have a landed property
Yeah.
today,
Yes.
and I go to any court or I get arrested by perish the thought, it means that I have to go to prison.
Yeah. Yeah,
for,
you mean
for being
48
poor.
hours.
So
For
all
being
the
poor.
people that do not have landed
Me,
property.
I'm part. I don't have landed property. I don't have land
But
in my
how
name
can
anywhere.
you think like
So
that?
if anyone comes to arrest me and says that I don't have land anywhere, so because
It means
of that,
go to jail.
I will go to
because
jail for 42 hours.
He thinks that that's the loophole.
But I may know someone
yes, of course.
who is an individual
That's-
of me.
that's where the
I
surety
may know a
comes in.
public office, and that's the point of bail. That is public surety. That's why there is surety. Public, you go for somebody who
So
is of
he's
repute.
acting as a judge in his own court.
More or less, and it's sad. It's quite sad.
But
Particularly when you-
this is very unreasonable, and I'm wondering how special prosecutor thinks that he can act this way.
Well-
Somebody who is supposed to protect the interest of the public. And that is why you are there, special prosecutor. If you are watching us, you are there to protect our interest. You are there to protect our taxes. You are there to protect the law. And so I'm surprised that you would act this way. Is it because you think that Paul comes on touch screen and talks against you? Or says his mind on what he thinks you are doing right or wrong? Is it for you to show him that you have the power and so you can arrest him and keep him behind bars? Anyway, anyhow you like it? This is a very difficult situation. I'm sure you may want to help us to answer these questions.
even Julius Caesar, his time passed. Even Julius Caesar.
I'm surprised.
His time passed.
I'm very surprised.
So these things, it's some way. And even after, when he was being taken away, where is he going to? Because the reason you would often have police station like Mamprobi police station,
Yes,
the reason you
yes.
have them allowing you to have access to the person there is, you never know the medical condition the person may have.
Exactly.
So you need to know where the person is being sent to, so that you know that, okay, if he's to take his medicine at this point in time, maybe his wife or his mother would bring it to him. They were doing merry-go-round with where he is, doing convoy. One convoy is
even
passing
you, the
here.
lawyers.
One convoy is passing, one car is passing here, going here. Then you are asking, where is he? He is not to be found here because we went here. We said, oh, he's
Because
not
I
here.
came there.
Yet
I came to the special
the
prosecutor's
officers
office.
from the OSP's office, some of them were at a venue of at a law enforcement agency. I do not want to mention. Right in Accra, Rage.
Waiting
when
for him.
We went there, we saw it. We asked, where is he? Oh, he's not here. So, Wufi OSP office. What was the point?
I was at the gate. I was at the gate for over 3 hours. I saw media men. I saw people
Yes,
who were
and then-
ready to report.
Who were ready to report? Then
Nobody knew
nobody
his
knew where.
whereabouts. Nobody knew
where.
where.
So it is just now that we've been able to learn that he is in his whereabouts or the venue of his.
But
his
what
detention.
why are you even keeping the whereabouts of the person?
Private.
For what? Why are you
Is
keeping
anyone
it
going to
private? For
break?
what?
And you see, the
You are
point of
following the
being
law.
there,
Why are you keeping it private?
The law, our constitution, particularly in the Fourth Republic, is tilted to rights and liberties. It's that there's an inclination in Chapter 5 of the Constitution to rights and liberties. So there is a presumption, and we have this, it's called anybody, even somebody you see chopping the head off of another person, is presumed innocent.
Exactly.
To proving guilty.
Yes.
And consequently convicted in a court of competent jurisdiction. Bail, according to Section 96 of Act 30, the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act, 1960, Act 30, is not used as an avenue to punish an individual. Bail is never to be harsh, neither is it meant to be onerous. So, if the person has not been convicted by a court, you know where the person lives. He has never made his residential address not known. You know where his office is here. He comes here for good.
Every Tuesday, every Thursday, he's
Every
here.
Tuesday,
So
every
you know
Thursday,
he cannot run
he's
away.
here. You know his children, are being educated in this country. He has links to people, friends, bonds, and everything. How will this individual
Run away.
run away?
In the morning when I watched the video, and you had been with him in the morning, in fact, I was quite skeptical about concluding that the special prosecutor
was going to arrest him. Same, actually.
Exactly. And
Same.
the fact that it had been concluded this was a witch hunt. I mean, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a special prosecutor. I've seen him. I've had some encounters with him, and I think he's a fine gentleman. But I can now conclude that this is a witch hunt from the evidence put before us.
This witch hunt so great, it makes even Chewa jealous. See, there's a this is a serious issue. It is a serious issue. It is. So bail is not used as an avenue. You don't use bail to say, oh, we are going to restrict this person. So we're restricting this person.
So you were powerless.
No, that's
no,
what
I
bail
mean,
is for.
I mean, no, this is not. It is not. This is not.
And it's not about. You see, it's not about. And that's one thing I always say. It is never about the person, but it is about running down institutions. And I have always been, I was one of the largest. I've been the largest critics. I'm one of the ferocious critics of the operations of these national security agents. Mask, this gun here, gun, even under NPP, because what's the source for the goose? It's source for the ganja.
Exactly.
If we say, and to those people in the NPP who are also saying that they've done this to Paul, so when we come, you do a democracy.
It is the system we are fighting for. It is the structures we are fighting for. We want things to work.
2028 and 2032, which we are going to show NDC.
So
it will get to a point in time where people will begin to lose trust in institutions and rather gain confidence in muscle. There's this case, Entic versus Carrington, those who are educated in UK.
Maybe let me allow you to go on, and then, of course, with the acts that you're putting out.
Yeah, no problem. So there's this case called Entic versus Carrington, and there was a judge called Lord Camden, and he said something. He said that every human being enters society for the protection of life and property. Every human being enters society for the protection of life and property. Why did he say this? There was a time before the advancement or the creation of civilization where everybody, it was everyone for himself, God for us all, the strongest, the fittest, people would kill to have food and things like that. But as time went on, we began to get civilized. And so it became about the institutions, the structures, and how we can protect and keep these things. So if we make it about individuals and personalities, no society is built like that. A classic example in Ghana's history is this guy, Joe Appiah. So Joe Appiah was a Ghanaian politician. In fact, Joe Appiah's history is so interesting because at the time he married one woman called Peggy Cripps, who was the daughter of, I think, the Chancellor of the UK. And this is the 50s. So, an upper-class British woman marrying a black lawyer, it was not heard of. And so Joe Appiah was everywhere. Now, Joe Appiah ran against Buzia in the PP. He wanted to be flag bearer. He wanted to lead the Progress Party. But then Joe Appiah lost to Buzia, who won. Buzia won the 1969 general elections with 105 out of 140 seats in the election and was sworn in as Prime Minister on the 1st of October 1969. Joe Appiah took more or less a counter position to Buzia. It would interest you that after Buzia was overthrown, Joe Appiah was made the head of a policy known as Unigov, which was to make sure that the military and the civilians would govern together. And it was in perpetuity. It means forever the military and the civilians will have a union government. It is that same, and in fact, Joe Appiah was even given a helicopter to go around campaigning for Unigov. It is that same Unigov that led to the downfall of Achampong. And after Achampong fell, Joe Appiah's legacy vanished. If Joe Appiah had stayed firm and said, no, this is a democracy, Achampong cannot overthrow Buzia. You cannot pick sides and things like that. Joe Appiah may have had his name etched in the annals of Ghanaian history, but that didn't happen. And so it may not be so much so about, it shouldn't be about personality, but it should be about institutionalism. But as for telling somebody who has told you already, and it will interest you to note that at the time, Paul was giving information that he did not or he does not have any landed property or property in his name. He did not even know that bail was up for discussion. And so it was then taken and used, and then say that, hey, bring your landed property, and he couldn't provide landed property, thrown behind bars. Well, we are here. Back to you.
It's hard, and you see, the problem for me is not necessarily about Paul as in Paul, but about the system,
exactly,
the structure, the process, the procedures, and the things that we all fight for as a country. So today, it is Paul Adom Otchere. Tomorrow it can be you. I'm receiving quite a number of messages, and I think that people should not personalize it. And for those of you who think that, well, Paul is, somebody just sent a text, your boss is too known, and another person says, your boss can talk. What do you want him to do? We are supposed to be citizens and not spectators. And so when we see something which is not right, like we are seeing now and tonight by the special prosecutor, we are supposed to comment on it. We are supposed to. Yeah. That's the work of the media, to make sure that the system is right. We are the fourth estate. And so we cannot allow things to just fester. We are supposed to make sure that we put the system in check. We put the executive in check. We put parliament in check. We put even the courts in check. We express our opinion. We express what we think. We give the platform for people to share their opinion, for people to share their ideas, for people to share their expertise. And so if he does that, how does that amount to destroying anything? And how do you, as a special prosecutor, want to show him where the power lies? What happened with you going to court? I see people writing the law is the law, but the law is not, I'm not sure this is the law. The law is you going to court and winning against him. If you want to imprison him, get the court to convict him. And so I'm very sure that you are watching, and there are a number of people who have expected. I've seen somebody write on Facebook that I think some 40, 50 minutes ago that special prosecutor should release Paul because it was just some 26 minutes to Good Evening Ghana. Whatever it is, I've said that we call him the Apostle Paul, and he has a number of people that he's trained. And so whatever it is, Good Evening Ghana will still come on, and Paul will still be Paul. He will come back. Tuesday, we are live. Thursday, we are live. Every day will be live. Good Evening Ghana will still go on, and Paul will still be on. I am just surprised at the intimidation and the witch hunt. And Apreku, you said that even Chewa will be jealous about that, the use of the word witch hunt.
Well.
The intimidation is out of way. This intimidation is out of way, and the show of power is problematic. It is very much problematic. What we'll do is to pick some messages and for us to be able to cool down a bit. So, Fatih, we'll come to you. Let's see what people are writing to us tonight, and then from the messages we'll come back. The show is going on, so you want to stick and stay with us throughout the night. We'll present to you all the things that we have to present to you, and of course, we'll have some production again from Paul. You will still see Paul on the screen, so don't go away. Stay with us. We'll read some messages and come back.
Right. Looks like Paul's got, quite the fan base tonight. So let's see what the street are saying in the comments. Kofi Nat says democracy is under attack in Ghana. Nana AC says Paul has always been on the OSP's performance, even weeks back he tackled, so Paul isn't in any way afraid to be persecuted. Kennedy also says NDC and its dirty political tactics, using the OSP to intimidate their critics. Retaliation awaits you when the tables turn. Now, a lot of people say they are with Paul. Of course, the support is still there. Robert says we all know the rationale behind of the detention of Paul, and only God can deal with it. Atapoku Clement also comes to say, when did it become mandatory to own a landed property before you can be billed? Ebenezer Anokwa says, so now an accused person has to produce his or her own landed properties before being granted bail by a law enforcement agency under this government. I can assure them what will happen when government changes in 2029. The OSP, Yoko, and all those security officers in power now will have to produce Jesus Christ's life before being granted bail. That's not what we are looking for. We are following democracy. And lastly, coming from Adolf, he says, it has become increasingly evident that any time critical issues of national interest emerge, elements within the NDC orchestrate the arrest or targeting of high-profile NPP figures as a deliberate strategy to divert public attention and manipulate national discourse. Now, back to you, Apreku.
Right, so I'm getting a lot of text messages too. I don't know if I should mention the name, but this one says, Onia, this thing there, we go revenge you. When we finish, I'll show you the person who sent that one. He said, tell Apreku we no go listen. Apreku pa. But what we are trying to do, like he said earlier on, is to make sure that we guard and guide the systems, the structures of the country. Let the institutions work. That has been our bane, not necessarily lampooning anybody, but we want to make sure the system is working and not by anybody pursuing pettiness, pursuing their own personal agenda because they think that Paul is sitting on them. No, that cannot be. Somebody says the OMP himself should be investigated. Well, we'll leave it at that. But let me come to the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Tafo constituency, Honorable Eko Vincent Asafua. He sends a very long one. I wish I could put this on screen for you to read. I'll try and see if we can get it for you. Okay. Then you can project it. So I'm going to share it with Tornado. Then so I will just forward it to Tornado now. Then we can see if we can project it. But whilst we do that, meantime, whilst we do that, I'll still read it, and then it is sent now. But let me still read it for the hearing of everybody. So, Eko Vincent, Member of Parliament for Tafo constituency, says the Office of the Special Prosecutor (OSP) has a mandate to combat corruption, and we respect that mandate. However, in exercising such powers, it is essential that justice is not only pursued, but pursued fairly, proportionately, and without prejudice. The detention of Mr. Paul Adom Otchere over his inability to present 2 landed properties as part of his bail conditions raises legitimate legal and ethical questions. And Vincent is a lawyer. Vincent
was my mate at the law school. We sat in the same classroom.
Well, so this is from a lawyer that I'm reading. Bail in law is not meant to be punitive. It is a mechanism to ensure the accused appears in court, not a measure of wealth, privilege, or property ownership. It is troubling that someone can be held in custody simply because they do not own landed property in their own name, especially when alternative forms of surety could be considered. One must ask, are we setting a precedent where property ownership becomes a gateway to freedom? And Apreku asks the same question. In a country where many hard-working professionals rent, lease, or hold assets jointly, this standard appears both exclusionary and ungrounded in equitable justice. Furthermore, the ongoing investigation into a revenue assurance contract signed under the Ghana Airports Company Limited must be approached with institutional clarity and fairness. The contract in question intended to ensure or enhance revenue outcomes at the time was executed under the leadership of the then Chief Executive Officer with oversight from the board chaired by Mr. Paul Adom Otchere, despite the operational authority resting with management. The OSP's probe suggests the involvement of a private entity linked to a known proprietor of a revenue mobilization firm, though no official link to the firm itself has been established publicly. In the interest of justice and due process, it is critical that all actors within the governance chain are engaged equally, and that institutional memory guides the interpretation of decisions taken at the time. This is not to preempt the OSP's work. Of course, nobody is preempting its work, but we can actually comment whether we feel good about it or bad about it. And tonight, we are telling the OSP we feel bad about the work he's doing so far on the Paul Adom Otchere's case. This is not to preempt the OSP's work. We support the rule of law, but the rule of law also demands restraint, balance, and a presumption of innocence, not targeted humiliation. Let us never forget, even justice must submit to the rule of fairness. Vincent Eko Asafua Esquire. Chris Arthur says, Kwesi, the next move by the NDC government is to go after chiefs and pastors who criticize the unlawful arrests and detentions. We are indeed in a crucible period. Honorable Chris Jojo Arthur sent in that one. He is also a lawyer who sent in this one. And Adenta Kumi says, OSP himself should be investigated. That's coming from Adenta Kumi. Well, let me say the rest. Okay. Well, I think I'll leave this here. There are lots of messages coming in and a lot of mentions coming in on different platforms. But tonight, OSP, it is not palatable. It is not exciting. It is not good. I mean, for the democracy that we are all protecting, that His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama is protecting, the peace that is protecting. His focus is on creating jobs for the young people of Ghana. His focus is on creating a conducive business environment for the young people of Ghana. His focus is on allowing free speech by journalists here in Ghana. These go to mar the reputation that we are building as a country. All of us are building as a country. It goes to destroy that reputation that we are building as a country, that people can no more sit on their radio stations, their TV stations, on social media and express their concern. Mr. Kiseja, this is a very difficult time. And we must say to you bluntly that it is not palatable at all. It is not exciting at all. You are allowed to do your work. We support you 100% with your work to ensure that there is value for money, the taxes that we are paying. We will back you on any day. But we are saying that follow due process. Do it as it must be done, without intimidation, without personal vendetta, without personal involvement, without settling of your own cause, special prosecutor. This is what we are telling you tonight. And this is what we are saying about the case that you've taken upon yourself tonight. I mean, do all the investigations, do whatever you want to do. And so, if you have any final words, then we'll see the video that was done by him this morning, right? And his explanation.
Yeah, well, it's older, relatively older videos. I think Eric has that one, where he details what's going on, and then we would also play the one we did this morning before we close with some other.
Okay, and I understand we'll also have that for the interview he had with the UTV people. That was a very insightful and exciting one. So we told you that we are still going to have Paul on. So for those of you who want to see Paul every evening, we also want to see him every evening. We are going to make sure you see him, and you will enjoy his usual presentation and his usual level of intellect that he presents to us all the time. So let's see.
Before we even go, there are issues in the substance of the matter. That I do not. My personal philosophy is I do not really think, particularly in criminal matters, that we should prejudice. So let us go to courts, and then all those things will be dealt with in courts. But so that we have to notice that these are not very palatable times, not only for the NP, not only for Paul or for people who align with who he is or are fans, but it's generally not palatable for. And interestingly, President John Mahama today spoke to the press and said that it is not under his watch, because he is a member of the Ghana Journalists Association.
Yes.
He's a professional journalist, and he says it is not under his watch.
He's been a Minister of Communication and Information before, so he understands these things that we do.
I don't have any problem with anyone investigating wrongdoing. In fact, it is good. People who take our taxpayers' money, but in any case, nobody took any time. This issue is not even about appropriation of money.
Yes.
The state hasn't lost a peswa. No money, nobody's money has gone anywhere. But in any case, that is for the courts for them to decide. But we also have a duty to understand that these things must follow due process.
Yes.
It reminds me of a story I had. I used to have conversations with Professor Kumado at the law school, Legon. And it was a conversation about an old lady who lost her house because she didn't wear her glasses.
Yes.
And the law of contract, if you fail to exercise due diligence in entering a contract, you'll be bound by it. So she lost her house. I said, it's not fair. So I was arguing, it's not fair. But why? It doesn't make sense, it's not fair. And he said that justice is a two-edged sword. So just as it's supposed to fight for the woman, it is also supposed to fight for the one
Yes.
who innocently bought the property.
Yes.
And doesn't know that you didn't wear your glasses. It has to look at the investments that person made. It has to look at the forbearance that person, all those things. So we have to understand that there is something that ought to be done in the way things are going. But his lawyers are not sleeping. I know that for a fact, that his lawyers are not sleeping. In fact, as of now, I can say as a matter of fact that in his chambers, which is everybody who knows that law firm knows that they are they are drafting processes, trying to see how best they can attack.
I mean, that's a bit of a good assurance. That's an assurance for everybody that wants Paul out.
Oh, yeah, nobody will sit down. Nobody will sit down. We are not in the PNDC era where people can be treated anyhow in some kangaroo court or any kangaroo procedure. This is the Fourth Republic. And if you want to do something, you do it properly. So you cannot and then expect people to sit down. No, I do not believe in. You can't sit down and wait for God to say, I don't believe in that philosophy. So
that's good for us.
Boot for boot will match you.
That's good for us.
They'll match you in court.
That's good for us. I mean, it's just unpalatable, and nobody is a custodian of power. Even the president himself is there, and he's supporting the kind of work that we do as journalists, like Apreku just said. And so it's difficult to understand that anybody will think that because of the power entrusted in them, they can actually use it anyhow. Mr. Special Prosecutor, like I said earlier on, we support you with the work you will do to pursue people for accountability and probity purposes. But the process and procedures, you must follow the course. So,
BBI economics be predictive, say all things being equal. Because say all things are equal, a basic say. But say all things are not equal, they are minimum say the basic. Every economic analysis, is underpinned by the expression and the principle that all things, in fact, some of the economic theory, it changes from all things being equal to other things being equal, because you are dealing with one situation. When you go for it, it says other things being equal, I expect this to happen. Okay, so you can say all things being equal. Saying all things being equal, say senior ya etaisino, yenim se ebesi sa. For instance, election 2024, all things were not equal, or other things were not equal if you compare to all other elections. This is the first time we've had such a significant number didn't turn out to vote. It could be a research. I can say, election ya mukui, nipa 2 million and 2 bana. Nasa nipa ne see esuro no. But obi a research no ka say nipa say be win by a big margin. Nipa say so they be win. Omo nyina de ne all things being equal. Nti research outcomes no there. And one is over fresh and my friend Musa Dankwa buy and say una when winning match no. Nti why are there? In some I can no. Say una when winning. Santi na my friend about student na be this and kita won it enye issue be say ntokwa be say obi say and it says ntokwa sadia. And a personal, like I mean, friend and my studio.
Can be business and to win in a relationship. Won't tell me to say.
Any problem? Absolutely. That time in any problem. Say, Edmund, I had a young uncle for say, only be a problem, and there be any problem. And so I call cause 2 lawyers argue. We almost got say.
I'm your friend.
Inti a be nipa bi o mo hu sa say in your personal. But say me ka say Manase Azuri, Edmund waye wanyi ni year. And yet personal. So also say yes, also say Paul Adom Otchere interview we and nya me fan personal. Manas Hazuri Nancy our friend. Na me see me abuche mba me friend no so investigations be kasa no pe cross enemy text. Enti enye e bia onye madam for say madam for brebo am no school na bibi but enye personal. But your fan say sometimes go for sure ka say o ka say obi adwuma ti say anasa o kan obi hu asem say ya say time and I be there.
I am in the Soka say uncle for a casse. The same uncle for Yan so say a ban of good evening Ghana. To die the balance. I say you were in to protect people, you're into, fight, be the voice for others. I say Binumo Honoma, Omobo, Yama, Mrs. Leda Pedding, a former Attorney General Godfrey Dame, and so Edin na Sana Ebinomoka. Mami and Bisa say sometimes we feel it's a pressure be a double so it's a banner political side and a be one of government be a war a bemu and I say one more position. Do you feel pressured from them?
Oh, so government new opposition. Someone want pressure say can say and I can say.
To be on one, I say o person can be pleased way mum, but because of what bemu into no, I say can say the baby favor no. Then maybe I done with am opposition. Okay,
nti my cover elections bebree na ade ba ko am hu politics mu a ha me pa ne intwato so.
Okay.
Me wo meeting mu a as a young journalist ankofo timi planning mehu Ghana ha amini mo nyina o ti planning say yenko ka ne sei
engu obi so
e wo Ghana politics esi bebree from 2002 2003 4 5 mehu be intimate one am say
wow
sadi we dey nya
I me but ni pa no o wa ben mu ana say
we politicians say ebi wa say abant me kan to political opponent e me nka se ba akofo na ye wo nyina ye wo nyina ye na menya from me ne obi akasa politician me taste wa kan asem bi wo radio so me madam for na me friend say na wo asem a wo kai o ye madam for pa na o ka kire me say sebio o se o mo ka so mo kwan no mo agimi me kire o mo nyansa
sana wadam for
ka kire me na me say no se na de o mo ye unhu de o mo ye yinti a unhu hwe da no we ko ka se na utie sa treacherous niama na ene ne ma me bad the decision say de bia say me nya microphone na se omo ye obi sa na se me ti ase say ade we omo ye intwato so me gina amanipa no so ye NDC so ye MPP so ye hwan yo say me nim say ade we intwato so me gina amanipa no ena politicians me di omo chi wo parliament na me parliament me hu say politician we din compare ma ko gina nchen na me tie yes me hide omo ni omo hu say me gina ho na me bisa leader ne senti na me JH Mensa o ye leader no me won the office throughout oso no pa me oni fie because na me te ben no o te shenungwa obeso ya no pa na me oni fie JH Mensa na kire me na ye ko say we ye rules we ye say JH Mensa me nya sure say o te ase no o ma any television or radio interview just a good evening Ghana me need to say
wow
me ko Yewura John Mahama minim no
unim no
papa politician Dr. Kwabena J
awoye wadamfo
o say Yewura nti minim no say no parliamentarian minim no
parliament no say they say one no ebisi sabre nyina mo ye fine na
oh yes
okay
campaign time kra no to me send me text say oh na say ma wo kan fa me crop hu enye no kre me send me text oh Yewura we no o spokesperson wa say na me kan enye we spokesperson wa nka say ye say ma wo kan ani
wo chire mu nyina
ma chire mu no as was sending me emojis oh yeah, very nice man ma send emojis say sewara bibisa enti no me who politicians na ade a eye ntwato so a politicians pe no mo dey take advantage no me who ye no me the dishonesty of the person me take advantage of enti sisila da pass and by
me ba what meeting no mo a omo e kasa asem no oko report and said your mokan
o man report to cry and yet to be reported another thing I say go 40 years and I'm afraid openyi bi no 2 days ago say no I'm afraid openyi pa bi and I'm in kasa na say Paul I know you are recording and I'm say openyi say dey menye bi da menye sa journalism no menye maka o team say menye bi da say me no bi kasa na recording America menye bi da menye bi so da e hu hia ti so penny jaja pen kasa asa de menye bi da wo mi wiase se me record se me ne openyi se kasa na me record nti de wo fie ama me mbra na me fa me phone nto nche na se me pese mbisa no na bisa me phone fie kasa e di nkomo ma o se me nja me phone kra o ye relax because behavior of essential for na ma se sa time na me kan ebinom sere sa time na me kan na politician nsuro say journalists jina ha otie onim say journalists know what the discretion to know say because na Joy FM so I mean kon cancer part way politician no can frɛ when kire say can he say there onim or trust so we betimi aye adwuma no correct because confidentiality there a very very important part of this work it is uncommon na metie no say omo nim say mate there But Oman Kasa Minko report, and your reporting be a maybe ya. Can say, be away, Madame Fakacho say, hey, politicians are some other no can, but some other can pass idea, David.
But say, no one say politicians no more or moon need GD or yen central for no one, and as a sanity, a day no usually say, I'm on say GD no
say, dear, recording, video, no, and it's about be a slow century. The recording devices now a buy, latest ones, no. As you nipa no honest and man, almost through say, and send our first parliament stay. Nana Akufo-Addo ni do aja ho din komo. Metimi akogina ho. No mu omo se mi gina ho so no mu di omo komo politics. Deep neoma any say ba bonten. Omo hu se mi gina ho pa. But omo nim se me nkoye sa de no omo nim. Ene me sure say journalist call parliament no mo ka say masa opede wa because usuro mintimi nka say central for na ayo say digital technology na ba na ayo basa na be time na ntisa time starting na ntisa enti no niam me suasua na nya niam say me report ba e ma me esua bibi say wo pese wutimi ye essential ni na odi no krabi e wo kwan bi so dia e ba me mu say sa ntwato so no de me so me pene so da say di planet is saying what to say me because another time I'm who say Yera Akufo as I say obi aka na say me campaign time na me ka na me ni fifi kwete kontokwa ensema ya ka wo Ghana hafa Yera Akufo ho e bia nkola ni nim 2008 no omo demonize Akufo e wo nneoma omo nim se enye nokre obia omo ka ye bia nim sa se me ka fa Yera Akufo enye nokre so omo ka e ka di wini abato
ena na wususu so omo kan ya na enye nokre
oh ena Akufo eye kronfo Ories ka de ye ni hotel ne ba Ories ka Aban ka de ato
hotel di wa
hotel Ories Aban sika e de ato hotel ama ne ba Aban explain ye se entisa ne ba ne ye ma price water house no ma ye paper krata ne o debi obi ante utina trotro mu a Akufo obi atwam ho a Akufo hotel Ories ka to ma ne se Akufo Ories ka e de ye hotel wo fi Aban mu abesi afekwa de obi amboso biom omo se Akufo Aban omo de bank account by we sika da Switzerland bank near Richard Anane de near 6 million come Japan de near 8 million ni na anya no kre ko for net me planning no more chat so I can say
because of our experience in Tina eba na say ma hu say enkofo na e planning sansem na no mokagu former president Sonana
because na me nim say there's nowhere no kre and as essential in hotel asemba say omo ne krata be kire
okay
enti me hwe krata na me say na krata ni dia adan na we can say
ho na wonyi ni say obi betimi de krata a kire enso na no kre ankasa wo but na bi de krata bi so aye cover up hu se bi sa so
aban sika no untimi ni emma it's a behira there's no way obi be fa aban sika
okay
so ye president so ye minister so ye deputy minister so be kukura aban sika just a checks and balances a da bicycle hono there's no way I'll be to me real bicycle yencho auditor general yencho na say na say de bia ehun auditor general ko parliamentar and some of the tuja na district assembly DC kra say sika bi ho na on fan baya auditor general de koto na ka per minister nti bibia ni ho auditor general onhu cathedral na say keke ka ho asemi sika akọ cathedral nim sika ko hwan ho e fa he ni nyina adadwa nti aban sika de o accuse obi so di aban sika na se o de krata abase min die na stia o kan se mutimi ka de din sa na ya na enye ba se na make sa de e be happy NDC ni MPP nyina politicians ni na
okay nti ye kan say no nanka wo boss say ma Cecilia Dapade no ono so de wahu document bi e den na wahu ntia wo ne se wo mpene ma wo bi entwa asem ento ne so
at time I say Cecilia Dapade and I make catch na mfo omo ben me ne omo me ne omo ejuma say some people be lose election we are na ya asem we satana me call antisisi ho
sa
na ba me ko ni fi akobisa no say ba de say ba me tie na me say hey asem we na de ma me hu sa ne say me catch nkofo ne say 2016 campaign MPP communication omo the assembly betu just say NDC for discover a Mary energy badge be omo ye home press conference the home krata bi by said 200 and something million Mary Adena ankosi hwe saa se amanfo anje antum. Saa America na no kano na eno yesika kese pa. Ena ye wo mu na bus branding asembae. Ena mo say o NDC ama mami bi 4 million. So on fanya bus branding na 4 million near $1 million. America for sika $1 million kaka. On fanya branding. Eno no amount for so nti mami hu say in political campaign. So we allege corruption. Now we allege corruption be a bro nipa nti ase so amfa. Corruption and nipa ne betimi related to no eno na osum. Nti be ka say obi akodi 100 billion na 100 billion be na do so don't think. Ba o ka say 1 million nti mo say sila da pasem no. You say or a minister or $1 million when he fee. Ministers yes saying 80 just obi a $1 million just saying 80 million. Sa me ka che go phone say eno ano no propaganda na eno ana da ho no. It's a same way there, but anyway, my main quantity is here. Two car, my friend, and this is me ba. Calling the crew, chances is a bad the same. No church me mu. I say be share any near. Me na me call report to my police. I'm say I say I call report to my police na. Which my me share. But I'm say it's the same way cause o say nya na say your court. I hold me who say court no report no na chronicle yeah. Okay. Na I'm say intinya say ya chill say investigation be there be I say me na me work court. Me na me boa prosecution no prosecuting college. Inti me court ye bisa me ameka. Inti senchre for ho. No mo teye. Mchansi ba we the one ni yi o. I say manye ni here say me ebe we misika. I don't know who you say wanye ni because of politics. Na sika na amounted to $1 million. Oh, sika say the send kan ni be kan sort euros bi wom, cedis wom, dollars wom. Me dem me ko kan ni na bom wa it me time say o google kra beba me kan ni abom dia me kai. But me ko hot ko bisa ne say asem ne church me mu den ne buy. And I me wan wa say wo akọ report to asema ma police months ago police aye investigation akọ takra de tamale akọ chi obi ya ton obi ka ye try to defray cause ugu so a wo yes adwuma yi na business na wo cabinet for no munim o president no munim say BBC e koso men kai po answer the man na me say okay into the police documents na me fa we mame na me de be microphone say en check mon ko police station ho na mon check say statement we about ho na mon check court no I'm checking me na bre me sanity na me say okay any Cecilia dapa on we aban sika inti ebeka bia ma no a politics a election time and now mo person mo dey advantage and advantage no so work here say ya so say no ka ho ebeka a major especially in Accra in the urban area a major political story say minister baako ekuta America ska $1 million e wo ni fee na minister so mo 80 na baako pe wo $1 million and say yewu Ghana yewu o ma wia isika nyina sa time na price akosoro otodoku na ento oko choba kodi fufu a untimi nto na life cost of living na kosoro aban say COVID and Ukraine war yo yate but na akosoro nti say akosoro na me ntimi nto me petrol me trotro price baby am 5 cedis no say me 8 cedis na wo kuta $1 million ewo fee you nim the what bank wo de wo ato na wo de $1 million egu form wo fee am obi abewia and the MPP for ya cron for papa no be a MPP ni kra na ba mabu na same way dey dey asem fine ya sesan ban ya to aba Cecilia dapa sika no ewe inti sa experience we na me no nyina ye nyan and na be ma 4 years later say sana politics thing. Sa experience na menya from 2002 I mean say sana politics thing. Na Cecilia dapa wia $1 million aban sika ampa nke ne onenam ho. Cecilia dapa da so court every now and then na Ghana Web publish it. Ojina omujina court no say this assembly ne ogusu ejini sika. Police for na prosecute. Ban asesa. You want new IGP, you want new interior minister, you want new attorney general. Cecilia dapa da so jina court sika na media meje enya ban sika. Okay. But voter ye dey ageno millions of sa and our politics.
Do you think, so moving forward, there will be a time as in some way saying, me when say be a political parties and set as an agenda, no, a be koswa, it's me, me, you see that, and I do kunim, and I say, a narrative no best.
In kunim, dear, what politics, dear, a year, so what by moi, ye were sending a show, and now opposition be anywhere winning election, and they be young by, meaning say, that's everybody.
Also, opposition being who are winning
election. I are buying a lose. Inti dan say na me catch.
Some more opposition. They can
do. Say a buying no en lose ya opposition no ya hu hwenye. Say a buying no lose dia na obebem because we alternative. It's a friend alternative no. A buying na ho ye hwa buying. Ye mpa buying na ye do beba. Enye say ye pel and ye pa buying no there be. Ni o ya buying no. Ni o ye de pe man ya ewie. Na politics no I travel from Oyedi or Pama to Enyoma Bibri, especially in this part of the world. But part of the world, there were almost peculiarity how until be anya perfect. But yeah, this part of the world, especially in Ghana, as opposed to Nigeria, no. In Cranford Ferry be he change say who bet me he say we a political office holder who bet me he pa and no kofra say economic situation bad me opposition may take advantage economic situation no cry bad next set is 2008 election economic situation in bad next meet me ma ho ye here because of nema wa wo ye me nyam na ma wa na wo ye
no so meaning say to me na nipa na enya maybe pa bia wo any de otimi eye no ne ma ne ho eye here na se bia to me no so wura wo madwene mo ma de sese omo ye no omo nye ntine mo ho ye yi
ebias ebi o ho ade sese omo ye omo nye ebi also cry de wa ye cry na nyoma bi o ho a wo be ye be ma wo ho ye here sese no de be ye ko no politician obe wini ye de oti ase obe ti ne ho se me wo aban mu we ye normal but meant me nye we ye normal but meant me nye na the other day na me wo airport board chairman na airport board no see tu kwan ya na me nkobi
ade
na me ka ba chiro ade enti omuko board members say kwan to say airport members ko na omuko na me say mo de nkobi omu say chairman ade na me say misre mo de monko dachi ba be chiro Paul Adom Otchere spends $300,000 traveling and yes anya no kre but a normal idea about chairman be but omobema ama ho aye hi nti unya boni bia nti e bi kra wo call airport west me ama airport na tumpon why say na wo fa $300,000 wo de tu kwan ade won kwan de wo ye hwan but e bia old board chairman ye bi e ya de obi aye nti enu nti no e be ma politics no ama politicians ne hu say ade kra ye normal no me hwe na manye ehu ewom ne say e bia katashese ne proye be koso but politician be careful so be cover because oko sawo party asekra yes we weska inti na say me say NDC penyi be catch this one say sa videos na be ba na mo sa no bi ansa but enkadi pasa enkenye boni
enkenye ni position occupy and ko pa
sa na position now sa enye boni kwa me kuma president osa bebre ni na videos wo ho but enne we opposition ebia oka bia we use in opposition say who say na say asen bi by Malik Basintali yes we akoto car bi e na ode car no picture by say 2023 car and 2024 but like 2024 car and 2025 just auto asana oba be who say da bi oboa na Malik Basintali abeye yi say o yes car abasika da de koto car na obi betimia ahu no say Malik mo ba ban mu yi mo ya de me hu adwuma wo ye metoka achew
eno so wo ho no
eno bebre wo ho but say sa aka no de ba Malik ontimi yusu because our ban mu and opposition ni no enim say we boni bia ni ho but onim say obetimi ama no ama ho aye hini nti no
na
obeka
na wonyi ni say no so eka ho nti na say ba ye ne yensem kyewe adwuma na esi ye ho efi so obegye aban bi appointment said ye be ya se impo no se koba ne se o mu twa se bi na nya ubetimi aka na wo nyini se de hu ewrewre mu nso a ene ba ne sa na se yenyina akọ oh na sense o mu nyina mo yepe oh mo ne politicians ne yepe wo nyini se no nso ka ho ntia.
Two things I'm person can about the entire politics now. Yes, sir. They use constitutional amendments the ABB, but asima wa can very important. My main kind no. Say are there na journalist beji abanjuma? Question I was okay. Peter Ajete, no a speaker of parliament. Now before so be a speaker of parliament, you know, now or a MPP chairman. And you know MPP win election 2000, no, and now I'm be a speaker of parliament. No, Osanso ye Ghana Bar Association president and son obey MPP chairman. And he obey MPP chairman, obey speaker of parliament, na Ghana Bar Association, a cosrano. Congratulations. No more born cocose. Ura Pitei. Say, see how obey speaker of parliament there. O politics, MPP politics in there, obey ya to change. Because they say, what be speaker of parliament? And if ye no one yet MPP politics. But for case I'm catch speaker, they say, on try so be neutral. Speaker ni yano, I'm a report story. O yano say, na dia asem na mo okay. Na me MPP ni mapa. Me den my neutral. Mo kumia MPP mo jana mo behu. Mo ntimi nye neutral nye any neutral china na emom word na mo hwehwe no impartial. Eno na esa mo ka kire me. Se mo bo me kokko se me nye impartial na neutral pa de. Muntimi nye neutral da. Enti essential ni na juma ne se oye na juma obeye impartial. But say only MPP, only NDC and our policy way e-levy only left, only right, D-levy only left, only right, planting for food and jobs only left, only right. As I say essential ni no efa planting for food and jobs. And na make say na do baby umbisa say wan kasa odwen ho say offer planting for food and jobs no kasa planting for food and jobs edwuma o man sesan we ni enko baby nemum say a great minister na oye edwuma no ese utimi interview no say ora wo de ba na be kan wasem o kan we asem aka me no nya adwen o ade we sure say be but say essential ni be ka say me de planting for food and jobs me mini ha na there be enti central ni koje aban adwuma wakoje aban adwuma obetime decide say o defend aban no o ye ni programmer ontimi nya impartial ontimi decide say asema MPP akane de me mamo ntida ana asema NDC akane de me mamo ntida NDC akase wasem ehu say na NDC kan ba me de me ne omonya adwen na back to the issue no lawyer for adwuma yema lawyer government appointment obetimi age doctor for your adwuma yema doctor government appointment obetimi age ba say be journalist there yema the government appointment onje ana
nti wono de we support say yema journalist appointment wonje
completely.
Is it because say we nya bi nti na wo hu ne say sense ntroni bi anse yema wa say wo chia
before say me nya bi no na after 2000 election Yeri Akufo be the president Cabral Blair me here no a DJ president or an ambassador Echo Cote d'Ivoire Ura Haruna Ata no editor of Statesman or a board member that time no Ghana Airways and anti editor of Daily Guide ne Mame Blay Freddie Blay or editor of Daily Gina Blay anti Gina Blay no a board member was Senate in 2000 anti Gina Blay cried only so that's so yeah editor of the owner and editor of the Daily Guide we ambassador 2 terms Akufo Addo me who Cabral call Germany or you're one of the most distinguished ambassadors. And this next month, we see Prati launch a book be on Adom Otchere. And it's essential ni ewo talent skill be a bit me aboa aban no ewo kwan bi mu a. Because we call essential ni ntino se be mo nya na. Uko London na bebre ho. Prime Minister Boris Johnson no editor of the Daily Mail or Mirror. No editor, a journalist. No better than a prime minister. No, a full journalist.
Okay. Some workers see we see a Peter Lajete as an example. So do chanokra mojane beba but menka say unyai MPP sem but rather than when you're impartial. Meaning says adene A kase A B kase B. A B mo ebe can say once a waje appointment no. Same po obi ba wo show ne so. na bio asema wo ba be kan wonim say obebo eye aban na waje na appointment na say party na waje na waba aban mu waje na appointment obebo ne chi a woye nipa wobetimi atena waye hwehan ka say nipa no omo akire a no wonko ana eye de na wo be defend a shield no kakra unyi nisa nti no eba ne sana wo people will see you because now you can credibility because say won't to me agi aban mu emwa bi say na say waje position bi say no obi ba be ka say no wantimi defend dia ene na wo kwampo no gina hefa
say person me can ascend north and come be see Otchere but before then my answer a question directly so we essentially now be asema say na American no baby ye do no preference so ye do no say na tie bia say guest na kan bibia na say there's an obvious follow up na bibia ye obvious obetimi aka say oh who can say but we so can say it is part of your responsibility to say it obetimi looking like oh play the boni for be devil's advocate say oh play advocate say what the other side san ye interview man ye fe interview there obeya there has to be devil advocate role in it you know whether you are an appointed official and as when you appointed official no so we interview as a journalist you always have to find a way to bring the other side so that for the benefit of the guest somebody who say now may good evening Ghana throughout the campaign period no you call us in not say and by election no there was by election be I am manage ho pa me ma dey ntia bo ase by election be am ko bi nti you call us in not by election and anopa no me ne MPP for na nam afenyo marking usu be panom e call round nti nkofo hu me me share metro atade e obi animi nti ewie ye no MPP lose ye and me catch a microphone say MPP lose the intimate interview election the area we interview the winner lose at the intimate interview no and I'm sure safma for now near assembly or na say we lose nti nti no me say okay mon ko frɛ NDC for number na some of the new people now nominate me age man na mon wan kakra nti me wa na Elvis Ankra by no say you see your face me nim ne pa madam for since Legon you see your face na so the my idea no say idea but say dey be bitim 2024 na so for microphone number and I made it only Elvis Ofia Ankra na me dey ne simu
no former sports
ono a me pese only me say they will see kasa NPP wini na me dey ne simu NDC wini by election o kan the obeka nyina man stopping no o kan say the way ade na ye no sa na 2024 be defeat Akufo-Addo abanfo Akufo o kan the obeka nyina owie no na Mustafa Bandi deputy ono so bae ono so be kan the obeka nyina so for about 1 hour 10 minutes they were on okay any point near the other ko sometime around soon after that na me tukwan na say me ntimi buy share program say enya obi ngina me nan mu a share program na me catch boy say ye pe bibia be interesting ama nkofo ahwe Elvis eyi no ye of abra no say hey boss am say like of abra ye nkate be 30 minutes you know I'm saying nti ye bo eyi no we are move into so I even went ahead to show it again nti I don't have any problem say me pe MPP let's say NDC need something about MPP and me stopping and say jai can.
Do you see we show let's say would the city agenda and say is there as a watchdog?
Oh, that's a very important question. I can say it depends on the production of the day. It be agenda setting.
Okay.
It be so a watchdog. It depends on the day. In Tibia budget beba. Na me snoopy around and me story be say budgets and say number can't say any here. Me to first say look budgets next week in preempt BB. And we agenda setting program. Another one Abba say obi minister be a press conference. It's me share press conference me say we want can watchdog. It's depending on what you are doing there is quite a bit of agenda setting.
Okay. What does so Ghana airports what does so juma honumana?
Baby, say board no change it after the election.
But ebi mo say sana manfo keka say we ni ho de na so who controlling niema wo honum from afar. We are not saying.
And possible say obi a honye appointment holder. Baby there's a new government no. Obetimi a control anything. Anything.
Also, call your own workers here, Juma. Based on your good relationship with Nkofana ni womo Juma intin. Be binia. Utimi emanuva way through etibibiana so to me manipulating him.
Since I'm free, I'm free work be a phone so.
Ade. Obi anya wadam for.
Yes, I'm madam for, but yeah, me this is not the first time I'm a board. Me a board or NCA. And also according to American man could be the whole 4 years meant to kind.
No, him say a
na me board chairman.
No, him say a become one sem.
Na me name say na politics city. And I mean name say Nkrofo tag me say me MPP na MPP na wa ban mu. And na MPP president say kwa board member. 4 years na NCA so according to wumpa. Men to kwa back one say na me passive na china ya betro. Say me name say na politics there. According to nya boni obia to kwa but me decided say zero let me go baby into airport also NCA also no me free ho no me free obia me free say say na me former board member na my friend there be me nye bi da me free airport me free obia once or twice I mean MD nakasa and no kra na Mother's Day and I'm a friend wishing happy Mother's Day because me Mother's Day list in the time obey MD no need by list the meeting Mother's Day me share list na me do and I'm say Yvonne and I'm texting the class happy Mother's Day. Okay. Same free obi or Ghana Airport Company. Or bia kasa ya tro.
No cresa in. I see. Quite best so now wo fire wo shock ma you know CNN and I don't know BBC or CNN and I will know more mami to report for them.
Oh, there be a Joy FM connection.
Oh, okay.
I said that time now Joy FM your partner to I think they still are. No more on a certain time partnership na start ya na team party na nya nyese nya me nkwane reporter me call am pofanka call Kofi Usu sa na relationship. Okay. Nti e call her no and out of the relationship no ebi mo kai Akosi Sapon is still there out of those relationships Ibrahim Sani Diara okoye mo BBC
I don't get na person obeka na
there be certain na me ho premise and babision law ntina me person meka but there was opportunity to do so African service certain papa akokre friend Robin White wa being pa no na boss nti there was an opportunity to stay in fact many and Pofanka were there about the same time on no stay so he came back to Ghana around 2004-5 through Metro TV no the buy but okay BBC
okay after we show no we was an call viral. After that, so no backlash be brave. But how do you handle it?
Oh, they say occupational hazard. Ejuma no occupational hazard. Until they say we see me across social media na. Akotro say, "Hey, jai oji me no." Or be our video no can share. But sanity, then I don't have any issues with it.
But it true maybe I won't slow ma wonkwa. Sebi and sembi o hono ma woka. It is said obi can wait me about no baba be didi watam so until wasem na woka. Obo on ma be with tipping will feel say one kind in favor of maybe party be or supporting no I won't so be betting a hammer.
Oh, that is there. The threats are threats in our and no by Kejuma no and so bumpire. I mean, so because it's true, I just a threat into
whom
oh, a whom but to be who say a threat I say. So about home pie, made it on a home pie, no about home pie. I say, no, who a drew be so I know I compare drew but a threat, a clear and present threat.
Into one a moody hen away.
Oh, when I'm bumpire, somebody starting by watch it.
Okay, okay, sorry.
But now be some.
No, said we see I can because I said, Uncasa Munina, what case is so?
McCoy CGC.
I hope an alcohol.
I hope me call home, call. Other prayer meetings, any prayer events.
Me kaisa we show no so we invite His Excellency Tony Edu. Na so I mean on the finance minister that time no but when to me and Bama ode Osafoma for yes Emma ode honorable Kwaku Kwatin and a buyer man ne bufu more sorry but the way we see a comporte wo hono. Do you always envision, say, BBC ABC? Or prepare home, safeguarding home, say BBC say, and mayana for the purpose of education, or be a journalist, not or show.
That's okay, I tell you. 2007.
Yes, they are told one. Now, me no be say it to me.
He got angry about. So I know a spokesperson for Minister of Finance. I think said the minister was ban redo. And so Saturday MPP are buying.
No MPP are buying.
And I could also tag him say me MPP. But this situation now, I'm saying Barry do introduce talk tax. And now me share then me say I deal with the very creative problem. Anyway, into Oba, and I'm say in the interview, no, now my hard on him kakra, and he got angry. Say, I don't remember why. And I also now opinion about program. Let's say the boy for no see where you come. Ye ano. Me tena quietly no koi. But I know you're different from another old video. Be Kofi Wayo. Me pam the fish studio. Me catch us on sorry na ma pam no.
Ade.
Because na ye can't no say Kofi Wayo no nim dey petrol ni oil ni sanya man sana oya minim say onim ni dey oya American guy be obey run parliament.
We got to a point so the rice could become
but madam for pa no and 1999 I'm say Michelle no and 2000 or run for parliament or Nima so we jit seat na ma NPP inti na meta di na chipa me interview if I interview more than many journalists because that's an interview or choice time you more choice me obey madam for joba we do Ghana bia no afre me say waba inti na many papa no but or get disappointed say no person ka MPP kofo yera kofo de etu gina bia bi na say amba so inti ne bufu ye pa and I know say mu discard ade Inti ofre me catch me say National Petroleum Authority omo ye corruption bi wo ho a se ehwe sa time no na National Petroleum Authority na ye yera Ken Atefa na wo ho and I me say okay me bisa Ken Atefa so me frɛ Ken Atefa na me say nsem say no say na wonya sa information we out the bisa me na me say Kofi Wayo na catch me no say Kofi Wayo onya papa na me say but yera obetimi abat show no so na woni ni me no na nke acheche o magana fo ate ase anke be me de pa no so why not member I have nothing to hide na mom me pese me ba no oba be didi matem o sa ne ma na o cop TV so ne radio so ana o ye guest na o didi watem na ogu hu fi ne de me pesa oba yes anya ma ne de a nti wo betima control no ne enka asem na about petrol ne NPA ne de a no problem na me si ona me fe Kofi say masatio kana tefa say sa wo nyoma na wo ye no ompe Nyama na oye me good evening Ghana Kofi why you be wahada minister be near friend no Agambiri no a deputy minister of finance me san ba Kofi why say so near friend no Gesika Agambiri no a deputy minister of finance tam osafuma for ho no oni Kofi why ba program about economy Kofi why ta kan economy to criticize aban no and na papa no me introduce you no say we Kofi why we deputy minister of finance Gesika Agambiri and no apeja na no America kasa what kind of name is that Gesika Agambiri is that your name nam say masa we asema
be kasa fa ni din no
inti atefa kasa cheme na me nim asema oka
okay
to fair Kofi wa say masa and then no sa wo nyoma no
emeye
bi me enka asem no trodo no obi antenase and I say no problem it started show now. Atifa kasa. Was it? Hey, you got a beer? You drank beer before coming here? And I'm saying, hey, a same way na me catch or say me pesa asem. Jai sa nema. Was the guy's drunk? And I'm saying, share the watch. No, kasa I'm saying masa. Any jai program nako.
Anti nti na nam so ma.
Nti fi hako. Me no kasa. Sorry nako. And no file now the bar program no they to me table no so no koe. Ne ka me na Atifa ne kasa ya. Inti eno ye contrast to Kwaku Kwati no
obi so amama wo churo ni din ebo ekunya ho a wo se
honorable ya asafomafo
nipa ni disappointed
any honorable ya asafomafo na what kind budgets be first I'm saying is second or first the HIPIC budgets the budget or kind ya near free be HIPIC tete ho no year akofo be by say HIPIC say
school scrap
say debt forgiveness inti aka Ghana de no say Ghana signing HIPIC na amama bi wo ho a omo so mo ka HIPIC no ho omo ye amaya kese omo be cancel e ka odi omo no omo nje ubiom but say wo sign sa HIPIC no so ane say Ghana no e hye HIPIC asinti ontimi nje loan na ma bia ontimi nye nti na kofo aban no emu ache na yera JH mensa ne osafomafo no edwen se ma onko je HIPIC no na wanje HIPIC na e ka na ede no yebetimi atua afa kwan bi so atua na ebesan timi nya loan so e de be ye ne ma wo do ko hye HIPIC no mu a HIPIC na be kire ekwan a wo be ye se wo pese ya kra Kumasi road na HIPIC ne si de bi ye takrade de na be ye ti na mo mpesa nti na ya anu ya ye hyepa wo area kofo aban nim na very early so Enti Britain for na omo man pressure say yen sign HIPC no. Omo suma omo minister betena Ghana. So ontena Yerako for so no make sure say by the time we kind the next budget no Ghana be sign HIPC you know. Enti even 2 days to the budget. Na nkofo nim say HIPC ne yebeko na adane radio so komo bebe economist newspaper say we a new government aba after so many years of rollings say Ghana are attractive obi apeso who news about Ghana what is going on it's a big conversation anopa na ye ko sign budget me name madam for from Latamensa na me reporter no me boss you real budget minister bia mintimi mboni di or ye minister kese pa wa ban etwa mu no san so ye minister kese pa wa kofo aban nim kese pa ono jira parliament wa or MP so from Ashanti region ojina parliament wa ye be kan budget no me na me point chair and say minister paragraph 35 HIPC no ma jatum because he bisa na say HIPC also so HIPC the engine tum enti me kan budget am say hey e wom say nyanka so ma for parliament obe kan am say minister hwe HIPC no ma jatum ene da no ena me sign free some say there's something about it be hwe every paragraph be or suffer for a kind no or kind on the dim because Mr. Speaker we have decided to do this that a drew honor or say Mr. Speaker I have been expressly directed by the president to sign for the HIPC initiative into because I say after we different paragraph there we dear a show say or suffer for no on dia we because him so on jintum that but now make us we show or document him say we no on jintum because I know the oyego president so say president in any case budget is not a president budget there but all kind on the dimu and enti your point chair minister say hey only no nim enti osama for kai we enti when I me call Osama for office na am say na sa na nkofo fe na say we dey interview no open so and that time na Jacob Echebilamte na chief of staff on so madam for pa and also the communication se pa I'm fair Jake say I dey we say interview no kono say ne ko hu Osafo for and I me call and I can say open so obey no say but yen kan then na obeka say because first major interview okay nti di say ankomo na interview day no so ye nti questions na e be as ye be bisa na area ma Ministry of Finance for na papa be ye friend no Oras Rebo when ne be ko no mo ye Morning Star School no that time no ye Chief Director Ministry of Finance nti me ne yes question and then question be bisa ni sa ne ma nti time no so ye that time program starting 9:30 and I'm say my friend and the driver say around 7-8 nti e be twa to say my friend na me nya no and you say our Egyptian ambassador fee as some way dinner be or something e house na minim ho e wo Christ the King
na wo call ho
na me call ho so I'm both tie fine ti we be okay
like how
and I'm real ho na me hu no na me chia no
na so we no program
you no say time be na say yes no say but look at where I am say there na say oh say metro laboni there here and think I 10 cry o dey me corner about 10 na we betimi aba no problem Saturday about 9 program starting 9:30 and one can say yes one can say no man said I can be na me feel into be buy no mfe na onfa na the way na ya advertising program na asem ketwa
obi ehwe
me boss tala fatara ne ho bo so say papa no we ba we I'm say don't worry it's a starting program na me say good evening say na kan no interview no baso honorable ya Osafo Mafo o studio ha into after the break take a
knowing very well so say
take a break
na would deceive you viewers
chair ya wote so ye chiro so honorable ya Osafo Mafo enti we na program the back and I'm say well yeah sorry they be na but as why busy pa but said the moon dream say ye twamontro na say take him for granted questions and he be bisada no ye be kan nyina ma mu nyina mate mu say empire prepare for program no and you say a car say ye na be interview no na and any nipa say na prepare ye me kan story ni nyina enwumere me hu no because say wan ka say onim o say baby o tena be ogina mu no ntimi mba bibisa wan ka so eba me kan story say na baka che nyina o TV so nti na ye nkwa question number 1 na ke bebisa na anyway question 2 anyway 3 anyway 4 anyway 5 anyway 6 anyway we na be 4 lines and uncle for kan o madwe na e pon e na patututu me ho na me nya phone call samaba
when a friend
tala fata o se asamaba o no se aden no se chale aban no bu efu say me go finance minister ni ma say nti asema ba je very day o si to be den am say me there mama ko huna na Akufo Addo na madam for pa nti two car me call East Legon that na hoda na Akufo no ya attorney general East Legon na hona oti nti opie abehu me me call be abehu no at 5 a.m. cry me hu no madam for pa nti opie abehu me no o phone so so I say what he did that my goodness Paul I don't believe it no see he's here no see me name the up to today me name the panon in the kasa
one can joe ni papa so na kasa
I do
nti dey no here
I say hey I don't know ko no ni bufu ye pa I'm say oh say ni buy nti me can no
but remember a day na wo pese watch video wo ye no
there be na pese views that time no na media nti say ne nti na me sro say viewers na ba dwen say na program na starting chair
say wo deceive wo
viewers ba dwen say me boss afma for din keke say the be ya on be hwe na program na page na bibisa na ha me pa nti na pese mo hu say asema me kan ye no ya ye hu adwuma
nti eventually na do ye den
well me kai kakra ne bufu ye pa na o kasa ya no say me nko se bibisa nti me feel no na tala afreme no obisa me kwa Akufo Addo net sen me anka hwe na me say no wen na o say NTHC for afre no na me say ye that na ye main sponsors NTH no man is ka fine pa ba mo ya ban no mo she Ministry of Finance ase aso mo she osafo afo ase joka say NTHC for afre no na me say whoa we dey say e be ne den no so onim adin to my friend no na me say no ko ka so ma cancel sponsorship na no so betimi aka na me say ada no mo ntimi ga no say na omo ya ban na me say omo ya ban no say ye Paul Asembe na ko fa be na me say we dey say me frɛ media for no mbo ame me frɛ Paul Adom no say dey say na me say Charlie problem amenye ni o nti me nim some back cancel sponsorship no say na fanye news no me say yeah fanye news news story you better Joy FM be for the 12 o'clock no waka say me see here then because I know people be a kasa wa ko interview empty chair nti e be story no nti e story no and bisa me say question bisa me say threads be about and I'm say well my boss a friend me say the main sponsors of the program NTC for a friend I don't know what it's about in terms of the boy NTC an cancel
say no so agenda no the far hono mo esete
and no exposing potential wrongdoing. Because
also that time no one said
because we cancel
then finance minister ne enye nti wo kan ho de wo ye no so no na ise se omo use etia
e true say de ye call overboard kakra and they true
yeah
true ye call overboard kakra yes say anya de call overboard kakra
na so go overboard why we ni yanka we
overboard the continuous repetition of the questions for instance may go through questions no
now say
let me repeat yeah
and
we could have decided not to repeat the other thing was we could have decided not to open phone lines because they open phone lines you go for bufu and they all said all kinds of things so we could have decided not to do that to make us call overboard I say headline be say Paul Adom Otchere apologizes for essays they
so you stand by what you who say wan ye hwe
and there I may hear woman na make can kire we
no but Paul so what can say person be a headline be beba na beka say then it means say you're not sorry
for headline na beka say make I say you call overboard I mean the problem maybe I know man can say
but okay within that period no opache or the way you know
as into viewers and actors of
not so osafomafo
minkayo but up until 2017 no na as still on trust me because me kon nchen no ayi din kakra obeka sabat who said me who from a distance at the elated person whom ya or you okay but yet the same up until 2017 and I'm thinking say he didn't like it and really most of the government people didn't like it.
Okay, what problem say now our president His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oba tina bemana so starting Nijuma as president almost 7 months today mama for 6 months in on be address nation no otu ne kasama for eneni ebekasa. Do you have a problem with that?
I'm sure say will be some question away from interview by my grantee with Joy FM recently. I may compare how many press conferences he has done to Donald Trump press conference away. And back to my question about.
But say no ankasa ne kasa.
And back to the question about constitutional amendments and I make consider politics be sa oyawo ne or tiny way politics in the form. Yeah, politics not say because politics ni winner takes all. The brony friend winner takes all.
Yeah.
They got to a bar. You'll be winning, no. President of Ghana. Only how many appointments? Or 5,000. Nipa bako. Or appointment bako 5,000. Because a winner takes all situation. And nuntina adie bako me ya wakufado aban mu say when timi ye nya Ghana for support and find district assembly elections by voting political say Ghana North MCE NDC Bejina MPP Bejina ne ato me ya pass enkofobi
said he a member of parliament.
Yes, I am a member of parliament. Because parliament there, my Germany there, Obia Peneso, kind hands are now concluding remarks. Haruna Idrisu, minority leader, or Peneso, congratulate president for bringing this thing. Civil society, and so Peneso, Obia, and I at the Yan and TSA. Ebinum akoka politicians be akoka say. Sie ne sana nessa wo draw Ghana map no nessa wo hwe districts a MPP wa wan hwe ya ebe doso as NDC because of district assembly say the etwetwam no baby say Eastern Ashanti region omo doso pa nti wo hwe Ghana map na wo to sa aba na wo ye ne sa aba to na all the time no assembly map no be show say MPP doso CNDC na sana ebe kwa amanfo omo nti ase say we ye nti obisa nipa bi ekoka asa say man NDC njintum nti wasa NDC parliament na jitum no eba outside parliament na say national party na jitum no eni ehu say ebi mu ntwentwi bi aba
no who say from NDC side no mo entiama omantimi anja
because NDC parliament na jitum na ke yetimi yes ade na send American
eba me bisa wasem na nti wususu say sa with this particular issue no NDC form na amana ambem.
Oh, but that is obvious. I know they say any be say dream.
No,
because president can parliament penny so na NDC a press conference. Oh, so man fancy.
Okay.
O me a press conference o mo penny so. Na ye betimi aye, e betimi ato abana ma MMDC says a DC for no. Na mom ma ye nto no politics NDC MPP. Ye nto no neutral say they to DC is say no. Na a hypocrisy wo both sides ne say. Yetimi to district assembly election wie na MPP jubilate so mu wini ye NDC so timi jubilate so mu wini ye NDC ka se nya we na mom me mbie mu ne ento boss no as politics there mo se mo mpe o hwe mu a o timi hu se we centronia o fa asem na we a obo se bibi hye ho a e ma obi e cancer because it doesn't make sense
nti bibi be sa na ohu e hye ho nom tie ma
eno na makan so mo ko kan se ye to sa aba no we a o draw Ghana map no na wo penti baby a NPP a ho be doso because Eastern Ashanti regions na NPP tanya aba ho no ya chiche me keten na other places no obehu se sa anti enu nti na mo yes say Ghana for no de almost two sa map na be almost NPP na ye party na ekese nti wan hwe ya na ye ko to mean abana ma president na no ma dwen se ye nto ma NPP nti sa no mo kan but ade na ya anye no e ba be heti obi a and me hu anra se me sisi ye ya tutu oboko nankofo blame president Mahama ti Accra atutu oboko nanka MPP any NDC ene to aba oboko for MMDC ya na se MMDC ne ye MPP ne wini ya nka ne ho apopo a ebe popo no se wan solve boko problem na eda MPP so ena MPP headquarters be bisa say master den na ugu anima ase NDC so a ahopopo bebem na ene no DC no president appointing no DC na wo ne te wakura ase no ono wasem fa no ho because nya wo na wo to abama no president and appointing no it's president the friend obefa wo friend on fa but senka wo na wo to aba no ma no dia a onim se wo betimi asan to aba etu no dia wo friend obefa president mo friend on fa
we solve a problem e wo ho
enti eno na ama Ghana aban bo no Fourth Republic no high na egu no sa winner takes all na ye ko election na asento kwa ye betututuo no because senka yes our system we are Nigeria hakromo ye alata for Nigeria omo yes our system no Britain ya America obi aye nya obi ade ba bebreye enka MPP for nim say ye lose election 2024 basa MPP for him say lose basa but Kumasi KM ni dey be winni come be winni so ampa e da NDC so be lose election no NDC nim say lose election no but Tamale North Tamale South way MMC ne be win MMC no woska ono aban ma ne ska nti adwuma wo ne ho nti NPP for him say oh yeah Kumasi had the say the be winni na Accra de no MPP ni NDC are fighting for it Takra de no na say kasa no ebe ma democracy na ye better ama aban pressure enko president so sa number 1 ama number 2 so no ye ko to aba enye kuminaminkum because enye winner takes all
okay
enti sa de na ye ntimi anje antum no I hope say constitutional eyomo ye beji atum the issue ni say ye nto ba me nto politics no ye nto politics
okay
so that obi abete ne ho ase and so some MPs no pressure fee MP so because MP to Obama until na pressure that MPs because you to Obama
but at least say ya to
Obama ya to Obama mayor na ene mayor na sem nti ya to pipe ene ya to pipe mu o mi krom ejoso 3 days a e John Mahama asem MPP be press conference adana John Mahama te ho ejoso for 3 days to munya nsuo
na Paul say we can ejoso where you MP na ma what's a man
let me feel until I make a
no minim sa but kai say beginning no tamani edin ko ka so minister na say MPP penyini pa ubi ebu no ma that time hepe no so
no say Ashanti region ma anya just say that just so MP penyi for no do sa penyi ya make yo
mate
o dey pon ameka
so o ka chere me
na make say just so MPs no more dey no say je and I work do foreign minister papa penyi American or penyi so say
yo mate ye nkopa na ye debat I mean meba wo honom na ye
ba a press conference me answer yo nti say we ready am the constitutional amendment no and na me dey can so say system na ye operating no it doesn't give accountability ye African country near here what democracy multi-through power accountability say authorities ne be accountable to the people and when you hear pass abre e your democracy system na you adopting accountability be anim sir because senke adopting
old government accountability series
and a monologue say na make an senke old system na British parliamentary system na ye kuta ansa 1960 ba Kwame Nkrumah yi free ho buzi aso de bae in fact the reason why Kwame Nkrumah yi free ho no kra na senke me keep this system because o see ha no or ye prime minister no ha no because they be no parliament no bisa no questions on pesa nti yen free on yenko American presidential system now American presidential system na evolving over many years our institutions they are strong yen sure be as American president on your press yen free on yenko American them na evolving over many years yen sure be as American president on your press conference every week yen sure but on my practice am na tintim into the American president no say na make or joy FM interference system adopt American system of presidential no but ye need system e be my president na and now about Mahama and then about Kufuor a system na ya adopt no it doesn't help accountability so ni hwa and then dey in same bebreba into say my example dynamic Truth and National Constitutional Amendment Committee remona to go ba mails there no me kan sa asem we a kire o na pia me kan ho o da ma se ne me adwen pa na me ma o example say tete ho no Rollins na say ne castle ho yi bi o ho she guard room bi o ho ko etimi she view e be ye nsem go media bebre Rollins en na no aka say no crew say nya no crew unni kwan bi ababisa no yewura akofo ba so ne ma sa sisi ye uni kan bia bibisa ne sese no crew senye no crew nansi president Mahama bai niam bia sisi but enko prime minister or parliament and can no panel about parliament Monday morning in fact in Britain every Wednesday or more prime minister's question time and upon a baba say Yewura Mahama na boxing na mo ye you know sharaf no nyes kan we sa na ta politics neti no jina hono ka say okay Mr. Speaker Scanifi say na bai enu ni because on also him say bibisa no inti ma politicians ne alert and they are very accountable to the people
okay inti
Akufo-Addo akonwa ya ne kan wasemi so a prime minister oba bibisa no pose bibisa ne say Mr. Speaker papa we dey be also akuta akonwa what is that chair for
okay
ko be chire
we said the way city we ne dia amanyo semoche no me pese ye part 2 no ye ba na ye ba be din komo Africans' New Constitutional Leadership, 77 Stories that defines Ghana's Fourth Republic, which is the book. Now, what delve deeper, actually, more inspiration, a man would this book, now, what my detailed, information about it, me pachopa, second winning the
okay,
but I mean, I can be.
Oh no, sir, then a book in there we need time to talk about.
We need time to talk about.
But there's 150,000 words.
150,000 words. Obi pebi ahin fa no benya.
As I say, anything I'm saying, maybe next time I saw a bookshop here, Prince new one.
Hey, asa.
Na
Amazon no me ade.
Amazon there ho. It's me send no link. Amazon there is there.
Oh, okay.
Because Amazon contract no one say obi bisa book no ma be print it.
Oh, now omo there.
No there man there. And how they understand that.
Wow, I see. Ebi mo bisa say the when see the amanyo semichi. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia say MPP4 esan koto aba no mo de ne ba. MPP be win in 2028 ana.
Oh, mean 2028. The be winning, the win. Say prophet or ho. No mo chere say be mean the be winning.
Don't believe in him say
so ba. Now obi me say e bia obi say Bawumia ba MPP or better chance of winning say na obi say
wuji ne woni mugidi say so moto aba man ma ne ba obi winning ana.
I think say ade be ma MPP winning the next election no. Enye individual a unity.
Okay.
Inti say MPP to mean unity a any individual.
It doesn't matter any power than
that is how I see it.
And
because what the party needs is unity, and election is run by the party. And unity. Now unity is more important than individuals at this time for the MPP. So
I see. I don't need a daughter Baumendi so Oba no betimi aboana.
Oh yes, an American. Omo jina ni nyina ye good people. Dr. Bawumia ye great wa ebida. Kende Japan ye good. Come Japan and say no anajokram interview no and saying we are launching a campaign. Some kan to amanfo asumpa o say ya duchum obi anim say onimnyansa about education onimnyansa pa by na champion hwe ni age any ne achievements in business. Which means say onye ordinary person obi at the age and if your business with me building the biggest hotel in West Africa very solid. Joe Gatti on why be the gentleman Fantini gentleman unimnyansa pa until we list now they are very 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 good, but it doesn't matter who wins or who doesn't win for the MPP. The important thing is if the party can generate the unity they need. If they can get the unity they need, then they have a fighting chance for 2028. If they don't get the unity they need, then they have to wait for NDC to hand over the victory to them. But this is the thing. For the ruling parties to hand over victories, it doesn't often happen in 4 years. It usually happens in 8 years when people are tired of them. However, it usually happens when they are changing a candidate. It's complicated.
Okay.
So our situation doesn't often happen in 4 years. It may, but it doesn't often happen in 4 years. But it happens when the ruling party has to change a candidate. It's always a difficult situation. NDC have to change the candidate. It's always very difficult. Okay. And again, with NDC, this will be the first time in the Fourth Republic that they have to manage a situation like that. They have to manage a difficult transition. From beginning, Rollins Rollins Jama and Mills. And Mills the Mahama competition behind them because Mills Mahama take you over and NDC decided very cleverly say yeah primaries vice president in Swaso. Into no atwaso abisine. Inti
so no after company sense there was
but there say Rollins crack for primaries. Into no sir we need 97% and primaries there sir.
Paul so be sure yen hu say we New Patriotic Party niana.
No, obi hwe me on hu me say me a right wing of politics. Me a very very right wing of politics, and I'm right wing because I'm a Christian, and the fundamental thing I disagree with the left of politics and say they challenge the existence of God. All left wing politics challenges the existence of God. Well, most left wing politics. Right wing is about, so basically right wing, I believe in big business, small government.